warm and beautiful evening, everyone. I would request a very warm and beautiful evening, everyone. I would request our beloved Valedictory sir, Professor K.K. Deepak, and Dr. Renu Bhatia ma'am to please take their position on the dais. And we will start the program in a minute. I hope everyone is fine and doing well in this dreadful pandemic. And it is indeed our pleasure to have hosted this virtual workshop, TIPS 2020, application to translation for the first time ever on a virtual platform since its inception in 2015. Professor K.K. Deepak, our enthusiastic and encouraging head of department, wanted this to happen. And yes, we at Department of Physiology delivered what we were asked for. I would like to thank him for letting us come together and work to make this workshop a success. Most importantly, I am heartfelt indebted to all the delegates who have shown so much interest and passion and eagerness to learn. Today, another TIPS is ending and giving us so many wonderful memories to cherish forever. And yes, that we did it in spite of this pandemic, and nothing can stop us. We wish to deliver it every single year with all the much more enthusiasm and needful. I welcome our beloved HOD sir to deliver the valedictory address. Once again, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. Very good evening to all of you. Very happy to be here this evening when we are concluding our 3-day TIPS workshop from application to translation. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for introducing me here. I'm very happy to be here on the 3rd day of a concluding session, what we call valedictory function. We've seen more than 65 participants participating in this, and it was almost like a high-level workshop going on last 3 days. So with very high teacher-student ratio. This kind of ratio is not seen in the elsewhere the way things have been delivered. And that number of workshop and that number of participants really gives me pleasure to talk about the valedictory function. The features of this workshop, if you see the way it has been conducted, it was conducted like a team physiology. If you see who were the faculty member, it is entire department of physiology which was a faculty member, starting from top to the lower cadre in the department. Head of the department, next one and next one, all were together. This is rarely seen phenomenon in many of the departments. So I would encourage you, this is the way we conducted this workshop. So to whom the credit goes? The credit goes to you all, who came, who participated, who interacted, who raised questions. Credit also goes to my faculty here. Is it okay? There's some echo coming from some source.
Yes, sir, now it's okay. Now it's okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Kocher. Thank you. So to begin with, we had apprehensions how we'll do this during the COVID time, and we had several discussion around how to do it, and expert faculty came out with very good suggestions to deliver this. Therefore, we had delivered it to best of our expertise, to best of our abilities, and what we tried to do it is to give you the maximally. And personally, I gave instructions to
my colleagues and other, give it maximal the skills learning which you can transfer. Knowledge part is one, but since it's a workshop, so you must have seen in several workshops the way these things have been done and carried out. We have given you a lot of material. We still have a lot of material to give you, and we'll decide internally how to pass it on to you in a soft copy form or otherwise. Otherwise, we are open. Our department is very open. If you need anything related to skills development, related to workshop, related to publications, then our faculty will be very happy to share with you. You can write directly to me, or you can write individual faculty member. I'm sure by this workshop you have made yourself enriched, little expert, and our humble suggestion would be, and request would be, to take this torch forward. This was 6th in the series, but if you see, this was 3rd in the series. We have called the same participants again in order to make sure that the technology gets imbibed, you get used to it, and you develop your own ecosystem where you can actually go ahead. And this time, actually, we have gone a level up. I remember when we were discussing an autonomic workshop, we actually went to the 2nd and 3rd gear. This time, actually, we went to the interpretation aspect, scoring aspect, therefore, which we could not touch because of time availability in physical contact workshop. In physical contact workshop, we actually zero down to the showing and demonstrating things, and hardly any time left for other skills, higher level skills which are required. So this actually widened your cognitive domain with respect to the skill development, because any skills have a cognitive domain to begin with. Even to end with, you still need a cognitive structure to carry out and execute, and that's what we have seen. Not only you have enriched, but we also enriched ourselves. So we did learn several things. During this COVID time, we could come out with this kind of a connectivity. We could go to breakout rooms, come back and have discussions. Therefore, we also enriched ourselves, and we found this a unique workshop for ourselves. In fact, it's a two-way situation. We ourselves have experimented on ourselves and come out with the several skills. I'm sure many of our faculty, and including myself, have developed several skills in order to execute such a workshop. And it gives us confidence to hold this workshop more frequently, because it does not involve physical traveling and other contacts. So therefore, I would humbly request our faculty members individually to hold these workshops, and therefore maybe every 2 months or other. Now, what is available with us? If you see, tons of the video recording is available with us, which was not possible before. We had some recording. This video recording has got multiple usage. The first and foremost, it can be used for self-feedback and reflection. People can look at it and then see how I would do better in the next time. And this can be for all cadres, not only for faculty members, but also resident students and researchers, also the participants. How to raise questions, how to come out with interaction, so this can also be used for the teaching material. It's a huge database, it's enriched database, high level knowledge has been transferred, and therefore this is video recording, and I'll make sure that these things are available and made permanent for the future use. This also reflects that how we do in future. So this actually gives a next pathway for future. For example, we can create a model where you do a physical workshop, and because of time limitation, they cannot remain, followed by 3 days or 2 days workshop online. Therefore, making a complete picture, you can be at home, you can develop. And I see education is a continuous process. It continuously develops, gives you more and more confidence. Therefore, you can. Finally, I would like to thank you, my beloved faculty members. They all came in one, and they all performed this kind of a execution for the purpose of the national development in physiology. So with that, thank you once again. I hand over this to the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your stirring words. In fact, all of us would agree that not only the delegates learned so much, but we as resource persons learned a lot. We know so much, but still there is scope that we have to learn to make good videos and present ourselves well, and also the storage, as rightly said by you, that yes, we have immense of data and we would love to share and make collaborations in future and work together as a team. Now I would request Dr. Renu Bhatia, the scientific committee member, secretary, to please tell us about the scientific report for TIPS 2020.
Thank you, Dr. Suvarcha. So, a very good evening to all of you. On behalf of the scientific committee, today I will be orienting you with the scientific report and whatever we have learned, gathered, and experienced over this 3-day workshop. So, as all of us know, we attended a workshop TIPS 2020, Application to Translation, from 1st to 3rd December 2020. It was an online workshop, and it was first time for us to conduct such a workshop, as sir said, and it might be first time for you also to attend such a workshop at Physiology AIIMS. So this workshop was for SAARC nations and for all the colleges that are there in the in our country. Starting with the number of participants was large this time, and the aims and objectives of this workshop was to share our expertise with the physiologists of SAARC nation and also to develop collaborations and scientific cooperation amongst different scientists across SAARC nations as well as in our own country. So, keeping these aims and objectives in mind, this workshop was organized. Just a minute. So the list of workshops were: workshop number 1, assessment of cardiovascular function; workshop number 2, recording of buried shaft potentials and FNIRS; workshop number 3, cognitive function testing; workshop number 4, quantitative EEG; workshop number 5, methodological basis of expressional microarray to functional genomics; workshop number 6, objective assessment of pain in humans and animals; then workshop number 7 on pulmonary function testing; 8 on polysomnography; 9 on transcranial magnetic stimulation; workshop number 10 dealing with vascular function; and workshop number 11 yoga and meditation. The conveners worked very hard along with the resource person to deliver what we aimed at in an online workshop with the help of live demonstrations, videos, PowerPoints, and interactions with you, one-to-one interactions with the delegates. There were sessions, forenoon and afternoon sessions. Some of our workshops had large number of participants, and they were also conducted successfully even with large numbers in 2 sessions on 2 days. So coming to what we learned in these workshops, there were many techniques that we learned in these workshops. Like in workshop number 1, we learned about lying to standing test, Valsalva maneuver, hand grip test, cold pressor test, interpretation of cardiac variability, and other aspects of autonomic nervous system. In workshop number 2, we learned about recording of buried shaft potentials, and it was dealt in detail, and we learnt about emerging technology to monitor the cortical hemodynamic changes in response to brain activation, and how this technique can be safe, affordable, and it is a useful technique. There was a battery of tests, a number of tests in our very popular workshop number 3, cognitive function testing, that was also dealt through task and other tests. Workshop number 4 dealt with quantitative EEG and source analysis and other things that deal with the functioning of the brain and computational analysis of the EEG. Workshop number 5 dealt with methodological basis of genetic functions, and it was gene microarrays, scanning of array slides, biological interpretations, and there were many other features to this workshop, and such an intricate battery of tests conducted online successfully. Workshop number 6, we dealt with how pain can be assessed in animals as well as in humans objectively. So there were recording of reflex responses in rats. Videos were shared with all of you, along with the recording of human nociceptive flexion reflex. Workshop number 7 had pulmonary function testing. Then there were diffusion capacity of lung was tested, and the records were taken for other pulmonary function tests. Workshop number 8 was interesting. It dealt with polysomnography and the recordings that can be done and their interpretation of the various sleep waveforms. Workshop number 9 had brain stimulation as its theme, and we recorded various motor evoked potentials, live demonstrations, while TMS was being given to the motor cortex. Workshop number 10 was for the vascular function, that is for flow mediated dilatation and other aspects. Many sophisticated equipments were shown to you and the records were shown. And workshop number 11 was a soothing one, that is the effect of yoga and meditation on the body functions and all the aspects of yoga with a modern touch. What could be the objective assessment of these yogic meditation and postures, that was discussed with all of you. So we completed a very, very, different type of workshops with your participation. That was the main essence, and interaction also helped us a lot to further come back to you with the good feedback. So feedback we gave you, and you sincerely filled the feedback forms, and based on that, now we have our performance. This is our report card, how we fared. So as far as I can see, the picture is good. It is promising and encouraging also. We can work where we are lagging, but in terms of punctuality, introduction to the technique, content explanation, clarity of presentation, we have fared well, at least good and excellent. There are very few comments which are below average or even average. And otherwise, clarification of the queries, whether the technique enhanced your ability to perform the technique, whether this workshop helped you in terms of application to translation. We found there were some comments which even said that yes, we can now apply this knowledge and translate it to their future experimental endeavors. And this graph, this particular pie chart shows that whether you would like to use this technique in your own institutes. So this shows a very promising picture, that is 94% nearly people say that they want to and will be able to use this technique in their institute. And whether the workshops online mode, this was a big challenge to us, whether we will be able to deliver a workshop which is being conducted online. So most of you felt that we did fare well as far as online aspect of this workshop is concerned. So this has really helped us and encouraged us to hold future workshops also, if at all there are any adverse circumstances. So these are some of the comments which we have got for you. So you really liked the efforts which were there. Some of you wanted the videos of the workshops. So we have taken a policy decision, and we would love to share these videos with you. You can contact the respective conveners, and they will share the videos of the workshop with you people. Handouts you already have. And also you have asked for future collaborations. You have asked us to alert you if future such workshops are being held. And I would promise you that this will be our pleasure to inform you of any such event that we hold, again in the institute and the department. And some of you found it academic treat as well. So what we have decided is that future we will be having these feedback forms, and we will be giving it to the respective conveners. The scientific committee will make sure that the individual workshops also know their positive points and their shortcomings, so that they can come up with a better things on your platter. So that we will do definitely for the next time. Till then, I thank you all on behalf of our department, and let's be aware of the current situation. Take care. Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And indeed, it was a learning experience for both the sides. And now I would request delegates for an online feedback if you want to give. And I would request, if somebody is interested in giving a feedback, please unmute yourself and speak one by one.
Hello,
Yes, Dr. Anumeha.
yes, I would like to give this feedback. I attended this TIPS workshop in 2017 as well. So I have an experience of the physical workshop and the online one. So what I can say that the content was far more better. There has been a lot of improvisation, and because of the online nature, we could better visualize the techniques which were being demonstrated to us, because many times in the physical workshop there is a lot of attendees, and then it becomes really difficult to have a closer look at the hands-on workshop. Another thing that I experienced way back in 2017 when I attended the workshop was the immense amount of hand-holding that I experienced through Dr. Deepak, Dr. Dinu, and Dr. Shiva. I would specifically like to mention these names because at that time I was stuck with a problem in a project of mine, and all these three people have really helped me to analyze the data of pyroreflex sensitivity that I was gathering at that time. So, although this
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Anumeha. We'll hold a workshop on BIS. Promise. After 2 months or 3 months, that can be done online comfortably. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Anybody else?
Hello, myself, Dr. Savita. Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Hello.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Indeed, we look forward to meeting you again next year. Anybody else?
can I say something?
Yes, ma'am, sure. Dr. Rupali, please. Thank you so much, ma'am. Any other feedback we would love to hear?
I would like to make one point.
When COVID times get over, we would welcome you for short-term training. And we're always open. We just closed it because of COVID time. So those who want to have a kind of attending workshops in a physical mode, one by one they can also come on. They can come in 1 or 2 groups. So labs would welcome you to host for weeks or months, depending on whatever feasibility available, and you can learn these techniques right from inception to the administration, how to administer, how to purchase, or everything is involved. So you're most welcome to come again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You people have joined in and learned so much. Now it is time to felicitate you all with the certificates. They will be mailed to you. And now we'll be showing you all your certificates. So I would request the PPT to be loaded. So as we know that this is TIPS 2020 application to translation, and this is valedictory session. And the names in the certificates are not in any particular order. So the first certificate is for Dr. Yamini Lavanya, Dr. Yashvardhan Raghuvanshi. I'll just name a few, and then you will just receive all your certificates. If you observe any mistake in the names, please do let us know, and we'll send you the corrected ones. So now with this, this TIPS 2020 is coming to an end, and we wish we had more time to share with you and interact with you more. And for the vote of thanks, I would request Dr. Simran Kaur ma'am to come and give vote of thanks. Thank you so much.
A very good evening to distinguished dignitaries, Professor K.K. Deepak, Head of Department Physiology at AIIMS New Delhi, Dr. Renu Bhatia, Co-Chair Scientific Committee, and dear faculty members, students and delegates. I deem it a great privilege to have been asked to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the organizing committee. To quote, perseverance is not a long race. It is many short races, one after the other. The theme of TIPS 2020, Application to Translation, is a story of many small steps we all took to achieve the desired outcome in terms of translational physiology. I would begin by offering immense gratitude to our HOD and chairperson, Professor K.K. Deepak, who has been the driving force behind this all process. His vision, interest, and hard work has once again culminated into another success story. Organizing this scientific event is no mean feat, but a Herculean task, especially during the COVID scenario. This has only been possible due to the support and suggestions from the scientific committee, registration committee, event management, and other committees who have been the backbone of the current workshop. Thanks to all the conveners, faculty members, students, and staff whose endless efforts have shaped the current TIPS scientifically enriching for the delegates. My sincere thanks to Professor Sharif and the team at said facility at AIIMS New Delhi for seamless transmission and streaming during the conduct of the workshop. I also express my gratitude to our logistic partner, Plexus MD, for the conduct of online registration process, AIIMS Administrative Division, Media Protocol Division, and auditorium staff for their untiring support. Last but not the least, special thanks to you all, our beloved delegates from across the SAARC nations, who have made TIPS 2020 memorable for all of us by participating and interacting for the love of physiology. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe and happy learning.